All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last day of the freelance consultant training. One of the things that we're considering to do probably is to change the name of the training. Rather than add the consultant, we just want to say it's a freelancing training because the consultant is making it have an expert connotation when in actual fact the target market that we intend to reach are not necessarily experts. They are people who are at the basement or common people who just basically have simple skills that or who want to learn simple skills that they want to offer. So there is a recommendation to remove the consultants because that might scare some people who think that they are not experts or they are not consultants or they don't think that they have any capacity or any um I mean they don't have you cannot call them consultants, so to speak. So we might be changing the name to just make it the freelance training. But basically today is the last day. Though this training was supposed to be for 30 days, the other 5 days left for this training, we will use them to provide support to those ones who come to us to ask for support. Like I said, at the moment, we're already helping some of you design promotional materials. Some of you are even asking us to help you develop business plan. No, we cannot do that. That takes a little bit more work. Some of you will have to pay for those type of services, but we can help you design promotional materials for free. And in fact, like I keep saying, unfortunately, I have people in my DM asking me, are you going to give us seed capital? Are you going to give us seed funding? And I'm laughing. And I'm saying that what we're doing here is you who's supposed to pay us. And in no short time, we're going to get you to start paying us. Or at least, even if you don't pay us what is what, but at least we will ask for some level of commitment in exchange so that we will be sure that we're attracting the right set of people. Because as you can tell, I mean, we were struggling to get into the Zoom, right? But see the number of us now. So apparently, when things are free, and we're going to learn something in the module today about offering things pro bono and offering them for free, they have both advantages, or there's an advantage and there's also disadvantages. So you also want to be careful in your own business when you decide to start. Though I would strongly recommend that you try that because you also need portfolio, you need experience to be able to say that this thing is possible. For example, we who decided to do this training for free now, this 30 days is like a seed investment. The fact that we've done it and a good number of people think that they got value is a good start. So the next time I want to talk to somebody about this kind of opportunity, I can make a reference to the fact that it has been done before. And that's the advantage of offering pro bono, and or cheap services or free services, so to speak. And I'll also show you how, or tell you a little bit as to how you can actually utilize it for your own business as well. So today, I flipped it a little bit. There are two modules we're supposed to address today. We're supposed to talk about the name of your business, and then we're supposed to talk about the things that you should not worry about. So we're talking about whether you should be concerned about the name of your freelance business and some of the things that we expect you not to worry about before you start. Because sometimes some people worry about wanting to make sure that everything is ready or everything is set or they have everything in place before they want to start a business. So we'll talk about these two topics, and then I'll give you all the opportunity to still make some comments, make some suggestions, ask questions, and see if there's anything else we can do, to be able to help you. So the main topic today is the name of your freelance business. I beg your pardon. I think that's the name of your freelance business. Or is the name of your freelance name? No, is the name of your freelance business as important? Sorry, that's an error. Is the name of your freelance business important? That's the topic for today. Is the name of your freelance business important? So we want to ask you that question and see how you can get answers to that question. So is the name of your freelance business important? So basically, we want to learn how to name your freelance business. As you've learned the skills, gotten all the information, probably some of you who already have the skill or have the business idea or whatever it is you want to offer, then the first next step to take is to begin to think about launching that business or putting yourself out there to offer that business. And one of the most important things you want to identify before you even go all out is what to call the business. Okay. And freelancing, as you're aware, is more or less like you being the employer and you being the employee. And sometimes as a freelancer, excuse me, you start all by yourself. Some people might even end up becoming freelancers all by themselves for however the longevity of the business. So, but there are some freelancers who later on the business might metamorphosize into a full-fledged business or into a small business or into a business that requires a more bigger team. It can still be a freelancer business, but it might require like a team, having like a team, right? But for some businesses or for some freelancing businesses, you might find that the original person who offers that skill would have to be the only one who offers a service to his clientele for however the longevity of the business. So whether you want to be a freelancer who will stay as the only service provider for that business for however long the business is going to be, or you are hoping that the business will have a business name or will have a business structure later in the future, either way, choosing the right name for the business is very critical, because there are a couple of things that, people should be able to connect and relate with that business in a way that gives clarity about the service that you offer, in a way that projects you as somebody who is an authority in that area of business that you're in. There are going to be some certain advantages that we're going to learn about how you should be very intentional and take some time to really think and research about how to name your business. In fact, for the most part, if you notice, most of the few people I've been consulting with, the ones who come to my DM to ask questions, who want to start something and all that, I strongly most times recommend that as a freelancer and as a small business, that you name the business after your own name. Some of you might not necessarily need to change anything from your name. You might not even need to add any addendum. It might just be you projecting to sell a particular service or a particular product, right? Don't forget also, we mentioned the last time that going forward, after this second free class we're going to have, by the third class, we're still going to be having it free, but students are going to be requiring to pay for certification. But we're going to make sure that in the subsequent class, the people who are going to be focused on training are going to be people who are providing mostly service-oriented business, because freelancing works a lot better with people who are offering services rather than people who are selling products. That's why you find that some of, though as much as we know that the information or the resources that you get here is applicable to whether you are selling products or you are selling services, but freelancing has more to do with those guys who are service oriented, as much as possible. So we're going to learn how to name your business. So when you decide to start your freelance business, I will be the most proudest. And this is the essence why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I will always be here to cheer you on. I will be the one who will be the first person to like your page, to like your business page. I'll be the one who, if it is even possible, to provide you any sort of support, especially those guys we're talking to at this point, I would go the extra mile. And I think that's exactly what we're doing. We're helping you to develop professional materials in the beginning. We're brainstorming with you. We're guiding you. We're telling you those small, simple things that you might need to do that might just turn things around. So if you decide this moment after this training that you're starting that freelance business, or you're deciding that you want to learn that skill so you can start that business, I will be the most proudest person, and I will always be. And sometimes I might be hard on you. For some of you who have been following me, sometimes when you talk to me, I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to be nice to you, because if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a freelancer, you want to be a business person, it takes a lot of work, persistence, resilience, commitment, right? So it's not something to joke about. So sometimes I might be hard on you. Sometimes I might push you. Sometimes I might even be, you might be like, what's going on? But I will try to do it in such a way that there's a balance, so you don't misunderstand me as much as possible. But you must know that taking your destiny or your future into your own hands by starting your freelance business or your small business is not a child's play. And you have to take it as seriously as you would take, anything that that you hold there, basically. So as I mentioned from the very start of this program, freelancing can be very rewarding. And if you do it passionately and you put in the work, you will gain a lot of experience working with all kinds of individuals, all kinds of business, and even corporations. Depends on who. Some of you are accountants. Some of you are, I think there's a lady who's a lawyer here, or there's a guy who was a lawyer here. Some of you are professionals. So it means that if you freelance and you freelance well and you do it effectively, you're going to be working with all kinds of businesses, consulting for businesses, consulting for corporations. Though some of you might start just consulting for individuals. But again, most of the freelance skills that you're going to be offering are going to be offered for small businesses, and though they'll be individuals, but they will also be businesses as well. So freelancing is very rewarding because it gives you the opportunity to interact with all kinds of people. Unlike if you were working with your regular job, you might probably just be filling a particular position, and the kind of people, the set of people that you get to interact with are limited. right? But freelancing gives you the opportunity, even as an individual, to work with businesses and corporation, and they will treat you with so much respect as a business owner as well. So today we're going to learn one of the most important elements of your freelancing business, and that will be basically how to name your business. It is very critical. If you miss this part, you might it might be difficult for you to grow exponentially or to grow steadily, or to have certain uniqueness, that comes with your business. One of the things, the gifting that I have, fortunately, with the help of the internet, even before the internet became this prevalent, is I have a unique way of knowing how to name businesses, corporations, non-profits, or anything. I mean, imagine the name Push Africa, right? We have pushafrica.org. Anytime anybody hears that name, some people even think it's bigger than what it is. Some people think that it is some international organization. Why? Because I have a gifting and a talent to name businesses. I have a business called the Consulting Crew. Now, the Consulting Crew too seemed a little creative to me, because every time I present that CAC certification, or every time I send the account number with the Consulting Crew on it, it looks bigger. Even businesses abroad, businesses in America, businesses in Canada, businesses anywhere, the moment they see the Consulting Crew, it resonates something. It tells them that, oh, this is a group of people trying to consult in certain areas. So your name, anyway, let me not be too faster than my shadow. As we make progress, I will show to you some of the things that I think you should do with, and they don't have to be big things. They don't have to be major things. They just have to be simple things. Just think a little bit and try to be creative as much as possible. Though, for freelancing and for the purpose of this course, I strongly recommend that most people stick with their individual names, except of course you don't like your name, or except of course you have the projection that your business is going to grow bigger than you in the near future, or there are certain things that you're considering that is making you not wanting to use your name. But as a freelancer, I strongly recommend that you use your name, or you have your name as a major component in naming the business. Don't forget that as a freelancer, some of you might not require registration in the beginning, but as time goes on, there might be need for that. And even with that, if your name is a component in the business name, it makes it even a lot easier. We're going to look at the pros and cons and the advantages and disadvantages of either using your name or using a business name. So your name versus your business name. Is naming your freelancing business that important? Absolutely yes. A resounding yes. Like I said, the name of your business sometimes can speak for you even before you show up, even before they get to know what you do, even before you get seen, even before you are approached. The name of your business will say something to somebody. And that's why it is important for you to make sure that you choose the right name. Or if you want to use your own personal name, like I said earlier, we're going to look at the advantages as well as the disadvantage. So a big decision when starting a freelance business is typically between whether you can use your personal name or you can use your business name. Okay, so there are pros and cons to both, to both of which we would explore today. So just remember that the name you go with can be difficult to change in the long run. So make sure you are okay with using the name for many years. You don't want a situation where you are known for this with this business name, and next week or next year or 2 years after, somebody is calling you something else. You have to be sure that the name that you're choosing is one that you're going to be with for the longest time. Okay. Now, this will be your brand that you will consistently promote. So do well to choose the best one that you will love from the onset and that you will stay through to them. So let's look at the pros of using your personal name. So like I said earlier, in freelancing, it is okay to consider using your personal name. So your personal name provides recognition, especially if you are already established or an expert in a field. I know that in our target market, not many of you are experts. Not many of you might be popular. For example, if you have worked in a public space before and your name already resonates, maybe say, for example, you are, who do I use as example now? Gani Fayomi, for example. Let me just use that one. Now, Gani Fayomi is known to be something or to be somebody in the public space. So if he probably, for example, is a lawyer and he decided to have a business and he calls it Gani Fayomi and Co., or Gani Fayomi legal practitioners or something like that. Now, the fact that his name has already been known, when he goes to start a business with that name, it resonates. It has a, please give me the charger of the laptop. It has a an equity. The name already has an equity. The name already has some value. So if he decides to want to start a business with his name, sorry about that noise, it just makes it easier for the business. But in most of the cases, like for people like you and I, who may not necessarily be known, using your personal name still has its own advantage, okay? And even if it's not popular, this will be a time for you to begin to build your personal brand around your business name, because some of you have to start from somewhere anyway. So if starting as a freelancer or starting to offer a particular service and you're sure you're going to offer it well, means that this means that you're going to be, if this means that you're going to start with that and you're going to start building your business brand from there, that also is good. And that way you are even using one stone to kill two birds. You are promoting your business. You're also promoting your personal name, either on the local or on the national platform. So you can actually leverage, okay, your personal brand to do business and also pursue other venture in the future. So if your name becomes popular in the course of your trying to promote your business, that name, if you've built it over the years, for 1 decade, for 2 decades, or for however long, you can use that same name that you've built for yourself to try to get into other ventures as well. So like I said, it will seem basically like, sorry, I was trying to mute the mic. So it will seem basically like you're trying to use one stone to kill two birds, okay? Then associating your name with your business shows a commitment to it. In fact, for me, this is one of the key parts. This is one of the parts that I'm very excited. In fact, this is for me, the main reason why I recommend that you use your name. So if you associate your name with your business, it shows commitment to it. Customers and clients will now have your business as something that you literally put your name behind. So it means that you trust what you're doing and you can bet your name on it, okay? And most people can depend on that to give you your first trial or to patronize you the first time, simply because they know that whoever that is behind this business that has chosen to use their name, trust the service that they offer, trust their business, and they are able to risk and bet their name on it. So that way, people can easily trust you even before getting to know you or even confirming as to whether or not you can offer the service or not. Okay. Another pro of using your name is that if you are somebody who has a unique name, I don't know, Akintayo or Fela or whatever kind of name you have, if you have a unique name and maybe people are trying to use the Google or any search engine to find somebody with that similar name or to even find you, but let's say they are finding somebody with a similar name. By the time they put that name on Google, there's a tendency that the search will spring up your name and somehow indirectly it will spring up your business as well. So the advantages of using your name also applies with our today's world, where there is something called search engine where people can search and just get to know a little bit about you. And in fact, let's not even talk about the fact that they're looking for somebody, or let's say they are looking for you. If they search you and they find your name and they get to know a little bit about you, that way they will have confidence in wanting to deal with the business or the services that you offer as well. So this could be a good way to start your business if you want to be found easily online. So people typically like working. This is the part, like I keep insisting, that people typically like working with people and not faceless companies. So the fact that, for example, somebody like me who does an immigration consulting business, I do a travel consulting business. If I put my name behind that business, the tendency for people to trust me, to do business with me, is higher, because they will know that whatever it is I'm doing or I'm saying, I trust in it, I believe in it 100%, and that's the reason why I'm putting my name behind it. So for me, that is the pro of using your name. Now let's talk about the cons of using your name. So sometimes your name is not as popular. Like I said, I give an example of somebody whose name was popular, right? And most experts, most people who probably want to do business with you, I beg your pardon, may not know your name. And the fact that they don't know you, when they search you and they say, oh, your name is Musa Ahmed, or your name is something, and they don't know you, you're not connected to anything, that is a pitfall, or that is a disadvantage. But then again, we're talking about small businesses here where you and I know that we're just beginning to build our name. So the kind of services and businesses that we want to serve are not people who are looking for, well, let me just assume that they're not people who are looking for popular names, so to speak. But then let's have that at the back of your mind, that even if you use your business name, the fact that your business name does not have any successful connotation or is not a popular name, that is already a pitfall. Okay, so seeing a business name with a random person's name does not provide any information as well. So if somebody is trying to look for you and they just see that your business is tied around your name, it doesn't sometimes give clarity. And this is where I always mention in most cases that if you use your name as the business and you are continuing to use your social media page that is already existing to advertise your business, make sure that you give a simple clarity about your profile and what your business does, so that by the time they come onto your page and they see your name, they can just quickly see what you do in the beginning. You cannot just put your name and your profile picture and not say anything about you. No, you have to say something so that when people come to your page and see your name, see your face, they can see something about what you do, and later on they can now go and check for any promotional materials that associates you with whatever it is you do. That's why I keep hammering on the fact that having a bio on your Facebook page is very crucial, very important. Don't just put your name, even after you've changed it to a professional page. Don't just put your name without putting a short description or a short bio about what you do, who you are, what product or service that you have for sale. Okay, so basically, try to make sure that whilst you are going to use your business name, there is a bit description about what you do. Basically, let's see if there's another con of using your name. So cons means disadvantage, as you know. So if you intend to sell your company, for example, in the future, your name could be directly attached to something that you no longer own. So if, for example, your business grows, maybe you become a branding consultant, or you become a media representative, a media consulting company, and your business grows exponentially, maybe in the next 10, 20 years. Though in Nigeria, it's not a common feat to sell businesses. It's not very common in Nigeria to sell businesses, but in abroad, people can have a business for 10 years, and after some time, they say they no longer want to do the business anymore, or they want to sell that business so they can grow another business. We see that happening a lot. Now, if you want to sell your existing business that is already successful, the fact that you use your personal name and you're selling that business would be problematic, because what that means is that if the person who is buying the business decides to buy the entire business and continues to want to run that business with the existing name that you had it means that you're selling a business with your name on it, but you no longer own it. But like I said, all these are all futuristic things, and they are not things that we foresee. Of course, there's going to be 1 out of 1,000 cases, but we're just putting this ahead of you or before you so you can understand, the pros and the cons, behind this. Okay. This could also limit your privacy. So if somebody's going to buy a business of yours that has your name on it, it means that people are going to be interacting with that business and assuming that it's you they are interacting with, even long after you would have gone. Okay. So just as I mentioned, people like to work with people. So this for me is the main emphasis or the main advantage. People like to work with people. And there could be a larger client though who prefer that they would want to work with other companies. So if a company exists and needs certain services, as much as we know that people like to work with people, there might be other companies who would insist on working with other businesses so they don't feel like they are working with other they are working with another individual. So, but then again, it depends on what service you sell and at what level you own that business. So now we're going to look at the pros of having a business name for those who want to choose to own a business name rather than owning their personal name as freelancers. Some of them want to choose to own a business name, right? We're going to look at the advantages of that, but we're going to take a short break, and I want all 17 of you to please come back. Let's look at the alternative of owning your business name rather than having a personal name to your business. So we'll take a break. Please just click back on the same link and come back, and then let's look at the business name aspect, and we'll look at some tips that will help you to choose the kind of business name you should have, and then talk about things that you shouldn't worry about, and then we will close. So in the next 30 minutes, we will click this thing and come back now, and we will wrap up in the next 30 minutes. Thank you so much. I hope to see you back, all of you back here. Please don't